Hey guys, what's up? I've decided it's time to throw myself into the world of the Smith-Morra Gambit, and I've created a Lichess study. I will link to this in the description. You're welcome to come in and use it, check it, copy it, whatever you want to do. And here we're just starting with like the general setup that you will very often go for with the white pieces, but I've got a bunch of other chapters in here to work through, and they are going to be some of the most common lines that you're going to find, and we're looking for all the tricks and traps and all that kind of stuff. So without any further ado, let's dive in. So we'll go through all of these and then you can train it to your heart's content. Okay, so this is for E4 players. It's obviously against the Sicilian, and the octopus here is going to guide you through. So here we push C3, and the idea is that we've gambited now one pawn, but in return we have a nice central pawn and lots of attacking ideas. Okay, so in general, if from the accepted position, which is most of them that we'll be looking at, they will accept the gambit more often than not. We'll meet knight c6 with the mirror move. You can also play your bishop out to c4 now, but you don't have to. Okay, and in response to d6, very common, we bring out our bishop, and here they are basically stopping our bishop from having sight of there. We're just going to castle. You can also play queen e2 in this position, of course. And now it's queen e2. Okay, so very, very normal setup with pawns on d6 and e6. And now the standard move is rook to d1, lining it up with a queen there. And here the octopus is telling me this is not ideal because the pawn on d6 is actually pinned. So I'm guessing that what we can do here is just push e5, attacking that knight. And the knight now retreats, and it just says now plow in. We've got our rook lined up with the queen, and this is a blunder. Okay, so this knight has now pinned itself, and it's saying we can now continue with development. So I'm guessing the move is going to be bishop f4. But the knight is still pinned after the queen moves here. Okay, so in nearly every case we are playing black's most common move. Okay, more pressure on the knight. I guess it's knight b5, looking at the queen and the knight. This has been reached thousands of times, and white wins at my level. So this is 1800 to 2000 on Lichess. White wins 83% of the time from here. Okay, so hopefully you're inspired already. Let's go again from the start. Sicilian d4. So this is like a common pawn setup. This is accepted knight c6 with a6 and e6 and d6. Okay, so we mirror. And here's one of the pawn moves. Okay, so we just play the bishop out. Okay, continue as normal. Queen e2. No, castles. Castles first. And carry on. They might also do this, so natural Morra development. This bishop hasn't yet decided where it's going to go, but our rooks will very often want to come from rook f to d1 and rook a to c1. So rook f d1, well, rook d1. And now that the queen has moved to this square, which is very common, we do have a natural home for the bishop, and we're going to pin the d pawn. Okay. And again, standard setup, seeing as the queen has put herself on the c-file, rook a to c1. They castle and pull back the bowstring. So we're starting to open up this thing. The queen moves away, and now we strike in the center. e5. Got lots of attackers. We've got knight and bishop and queen on here. I think if we take with the bishop, it's forcing. No, knight. So what we're doing here is, well, we're not really threatening. After this, we're not really threatening to move our knight from the previous position if I move back there. So, because our bishop's actually undefended on that square. But we take with the knight, and there's only one good recapture here. So the capturing with the bishop is a tempo winning move, forcing the queen away. If we take with the queen, we could just end up trading queens. All right, so we take with the bishop, And now white is having all the fun. If black plays any move other than queen a7, then he's pretty much lost in this position. Okay, we pressure the defending knight. Knight to here. And we simply recapture the queen. And this move is played 50% of the time. It's the most common move, but our bishop is looking at c7. This bishop is undefended. Happy days. All right, so the idea is that you can come along, you can just drill these common games until it becomes second nature. So this is really aimed at the intermediate player, but anyone can just dive in and do this. I think this is, for me, this is much more useful than plowing through long videos of theory or stuff like that. Okay, this is the fourth most common move from black, but you will see it. Okay, normal development, knight out. And again, normal development. Very natural, but this is actually a mistake already because it undefends this key square. So what do we want to do? Well, we'd love to put a knight on there. There's nothing defending that. Also the bishop, because it's committed to this fianchetto, to this diagonal now, that we can now come in with our knight. We're threatening to come in here and harass the king and make it move. Now the queen defends d6, but we have a huge development lead, so we smash the center. Okay, and recapture one more time, now threatening mate. Queen takes, threatens mate. We trade off. No. It says no, look carefully. Knight c7. The king now has to move, loses castling rights. The rooks are trapped in. Material is equal, but white wins 80% from here. Okay, so let's go over that one again, just quickly. And this is the idea. You make any kind of mistake, you forget your theory, we just go over it again. Okay, so normal development, and oh, the key square undefends, yes, that one. So now we come in with a knight. It's a really, really aggressive opening this. So we take here, and if queen takes, bang, right? We take the queen, and happy days, okay? So, carrying on. I feel like I've lost some time. I should have learnt this a long time ago. This the slow kind of Grand Prix attacks thing. It's been doing okay for me, but this just feels much more my style. I did have a lot of fun and quite good success actually with wing gambits as well against the Sicilian. Okay, so I guess we just develop as normal. No. Okay, so I'm missing a... Okay, so they're attacking the pawn. So I'm probably missing a... Okay, what's the solution? Okay, right. So we have these knights out, bishops out. Let's see how it transpires. All right, well now, here's the point. This is like the ICBM, if you're familiar with the Tennyson Gambit from the Scandi, for example. You can take on f7. The king now can't take the bishop, because if the king takes, we win the queen outright. Okay, let's do that one again, because I'm here to learn, just like everyone else. Okay, so this comes from the accepted line. We can play knight or bishop, doesn't really matter. Oh, and again, right. They take, and now we can dive in. And that's it, okay? Okay. So the accepted line. Mirror, and I guess bishop out, and the stage is set. So again, we're going here, right? Now black can't take the pawn. This is the point. Pawn takes and knight takes both have issues. Let's see how it works out. If knight takes, I guess we can just trade off. And if the pawn takes, we have this now. The king can't move. There's only really one legal move. We're going to win the queen. Okay? So, next one. So this is from a 4 knights position in the accepted line. Knight out, knight out. Bring out the bish. Here comes the knight. Okay, so we've got knight, we've got d6, we push. And now we take with the knight. Oh no! We don't take with the knight. Do we take just immediately with the pawn? No, I need a note on this one. Okay, so here I think we can trade queens. They take back with the knight so as not to lose castling rights, but now we can come in with the threat of this. Now, the most common move here by black is completely natural, right? They want to defend this square. They're better off actually moving the rook, but if they do this, then they die. King is trapped. That's it. Let's do that one again. Because we're drilling. We're drilling like Bob Dylan. Knight out, we mirror. Okay, d6 is good. If they bring out the knight, that's not good, because we can hit. All right. And now, see, this just doesn't work, because we just lose the bishop, right? Even though the king's in check, the king just takes the bishop. If we trade queens now, this knight being on c6 can just capture straight back. So what we do is we trade queens first, and then we come in with this horrible trap, okay? And you're going to win a lot of blitz games that way. Exciting stuff. All right, this is an accepted e5, and e5 is dubious. It's such a natural move. How many Sicilian players will know it? e5, not great, okay? Problem is that black gives up any claim to the d5 square because they have no c-pawn. So how are they going to prevent that? Okay, so I guess, yep, knight out with tempo. And this is kind of natural. They can also play the knight out here. Continue as normal, bishop. White has far better development. Queen to b3. Oh, queen b5 isn't playable. Queen d5 is playable. Threatening mate. And what they're trying to do here, they're trying to prevent our knight from going in with a fried liver style attack. But it falls to this. And guess what? We can capture on e5 with check, because if they take, the king's off the mark there, so we could have just won the queen. So now they come out, and now it's actually mate in 3. And checkmate. There you go. You can really get a feel for how this teaches you the rhythm of these games. Okay, accepted bishop pin sack trap. Let's go. Okay, knight out means knight out. There, let's bring the bishop out. And again, this is the same deal. This is very similar to the like the von Hennig Gambit. Oh no. Okay, because yeah. So very similar, not identical, and now we win the bishop. So good, let's play that one again. You see, I'm just really getting into the flow of this. Okay, so here we sack the bishop. Right, so we've got our pawn back. It's, what is it, 6 pawns each, and black's already got 3 pawn islands, and the king has had to move, so the king's not going to be able to castle, which makes life harder for the rooks, and we come around this way, and we win the bishop back. There we go. See, you liking it? You liking what you see so far? I am. This is accepted 3 knights e4, e5. Okay, excuse me. All right, so here we just develop the knight. This is kind of delayed accepted. But here we've got pawns on e4 and e5. And we already know that e5 isn't great. So I guess bishop out. And the bishop there is preventing the knight from coming into g5. So I have no memory of this place, says Gandalf. It's not knight in. Do we just castle? No. Okay. Oh yeah. So queen straight in, threatening mate. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, let's do that one again. This is how it works, boys and girls. Okay, so they've delayed it, but e5 we're happy to see. Now we recapture with the knight. Now bishop out. And they want to prevent this fried liver idea, and we just come straight in, and it's practically now lost. This is just lost for black. Okay, just a couple more. Now this is black's main trap against the Smith-Morra. So if you're going to be a Morra player, you have to know this, because you can bet that some of your opponents will know it. Okay, knight out, mirror. So this is all the normal moves. Okay, now queen e2 here. No, castles first, sorry. You're quite right. Okay, and this is the point, this queen c7 move. If we just carry on mindlessly with our normal development, in comes the knight, right? But it says do not kick the horse. If you kick the horse, in comes this knight, right? It's threatening our queen, it's also threatening this knight, but that knight has a really important job to defend that. So if you just do that, bang, you're mated. So let's see how to defend against it and see if we can make it blow up in black's face. Okay, so we go normal accepted. Happy days all the way. Let's bring our bishop out. It seems like the bishop's kind of blunted there, but... And sometimes the computer actually says bishop's like e2 can be a better move, but... Okay, now here comes the queen, and we want to prevent the knight from coming into this square, right? And we can do that with knight b5 that not only defends that square, but hits the queen, okay? Now block the diagonal again with tempo. e4 to e5 hits the knight. And black thinks, hang on, I've got two attackers on that pawn. They take. We take back. Queen takes. Now we hit the queen with a rook. Queen retreats. And the point here is we want to play our bishop to f4, but we can't do that right now. So it's queen d4. They come out here. I guess we just hit the queen. All right, and now I think we trade everything off. Do we trade it off that way? Yes. And that. Pull the knight back and open up the d file. They take and get checkmated. All right. Want to see that one again? Let's do it. How to defend against the evil trap. So black won't have remembered all of that theory. They might remember the trap. Okay. And normal development. And you can proceed and castle like normal. Okay. But now we come in and we annoy the queen. Queen disappears. We hit the knight. And they think, hang on, I can have that. And you go, yes, you can. Bishop defends the knight. Queen retreats all the way to there. And it's queen d4 to prepare that. And we just hit the queen anyway. They block with this. We take with the bishop. And now this. And this is the most common move. And falls to mate. So there you go. If you're not inspired by that, then I don't know, there's something wrong. What an exciting opening with the white pieces against the Sicilian. So I'm inspired, and I can't wait to drill this until it really becomes second nature, and then practice it a load in blitz games. Maybe we'll even start playing it in some rapids as well. But there you go. So you've got the link to the study. When you come along, you will see it in preview mode just like this, and it will take you through. You can drill it as many times as you want. I think this is an absolutely fantastic way to learn, and really for the intermediate player like me, and for anybody like below 1500, then this is more than enough depth, I think, to carry you through. You really don't want to be learning multiple branches of lines at this point. So there you go. Very exciting times. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.